Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, expressed his dissatisfaction with the Democratic senators. He angrily stated that he believed that they had become a party that promoted division and hatred. As a result, he can no longer support them and intends to vote for the Republican Party instead. Elon Musk even dared to challenge House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and shed light on her alleged corruption behavior during a private interview. He shared information about issues concerning Pelosi's actions while holding public office. One concern was a substantial increase in Pelosi's wealth. While President Trump's financial status remained relatively unchanged during his time in office, Pelosi's net worth reportedly increased by $191 million. This suggests that Pelosi may have benefited financially from her position as a public servant. Before we discuss this in detail, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. Nancy Pelosi, a wealthy member of Congress, has declared household assets ranging from $57 million to $271 million. However, there isn't enough evidence to support the claim that her wealth has significantly increased. Her public disclosures don't clearly show her net worth or growth during her time in the House. Nonetheless, it could be estimated that her wealth may have grown by approximately $191 million. Pelosi has been a member of Congress for 34 years, marked by significant economic growth, booming stock markets, and soaring property values in her hometown of San Francisco due to the rise of Silicon Valley and the internet. Nancy Pelosi, currently serving as the Speaker of the House, earns a salary of $223,500. However, her wealth extends beyond her congressional earnings. Most of her wealth is attributed to her husband, Paul Pelosi, a successful venture capitalist and real estate tycoon. His company, Financial Leasing Services, has made lucrative investments in companies like Facebook, Apple, and Disney. Pelosi has traded over $33 million worth of tech stocks in the past 2 years. They also own valuable properties, including an estate in St. Helena valued between $5 million and $25 million. Additionally, they earn rental income from properties in Napa Valley and a Northern California ski resort. The company owns multiple properties together, including an estate in Northern California's picturesque wine country, a house in San Francisco, and a condominium in Washington, D.C. However, the source of Nancy Pelosi's husband's venture capital remains a question. Nancy Pelosi herself has come under scrutiny regarding her wealth. Interestingly, she has invested in Tesla by purchasing call options, which could potentially yield financial benefits from President Biden's new electric vehicle plan. The ability of members of Congress to engage in stock trading has been controversial. In December, Pelosi, as a Speaker of the House and a California representative, bought several call options on Tesla. These options were purchased for $500 each, expiring on March 18, 2022. Pelosi paid between $500,000 and $1 million for these options. Some argue that Pelosi's purchases raise concerns as Tesla may benefit from Biden's agenda, including increased tax credits and sales opportunities for electric vehicles. The president has proposed the Cash for Clunkers program to encourage people to trade their old cars for electric vehicles. This raises concerns of a potential conflict of interest for Nancy Pelosi, as her family could benefit from the clean energy initiative she is working on. Furthermore, Elon Musk has not only clashed with Pelosi on financial matters, but also politically. Recently, Rick Caruso, a former Republican supported by Musk, has gained popularity in the Los Angeles mayoral race, which has ties to the oil industry. On the other hand, Karen Bass, a well-known California congresswoman, has received endorsements from influential Democrats like Pelosi. A recent poll suggests Bass and Caruso will likely face a runoff in the November elections, with Bass slightly ahead. These frontrunners have attracted significant media attention since Caruso's candidacy announcement in February. A former Republican recently switched to the Democratic Party and entered the mayoral race. He has spent a significant amount of his own money, over $39 million, on his campaign and has flooded the airwaves with advertisements. Supporters of Karen Bass, his opponent, have been pointing out his party switch and donations to anti-abortion politicians. The demand for computer chips is rapidly growing globally, as they are essential for technological advancements and everyday goods. Nancy Pelosi recently stirred controversy in the auto industry with a new act that upset manufacturers. In response, the U.S. House of Representatives, led by Pelosi, plans to introduce a bill to enhance domestic chip production and strengthen competitiveness against China. Intel's plans to invest billions in chip-making plants in Ohio align with this goal, potentially benefiting from federal funding. Industry leaders emphasized the importance of passing the bill swiftly at a Senate committee meeting. CEOs emphasized that government subsidies in Asia, especially in China, Taiwan, and South Korea, have propelled their dominance in semiconductor manufacturing. China's over $100 billion investment in the industry adds urgency to passing the CHIPS Act. Unfortunately, Congress has delayed action. To address the global chip shortage impacting various sectors, industry leaders penned a letter urging U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to swiftly fund the CHIPS for American Act and strengthen the Facilitating American-Built Semiconductors Act. The shortage has caused supply chain disruptions, impeding growth and job opportunities in aerospace, automobiles, communications, clean energy, IT, and medical devices. The semiconductor chip shortage has exposed vulnerabilities in the supply chain, prompting the need for increased domestic manufacturing capacity. Industry leaders have urged the White House to approve funding for the CHIPS Act, emphasizing the risks it poses to the economy. Notable signatures on the letter include CEOs such as Sundar Pichai from Alphabet, Tim Cook from Apple, James D. Farley Jr. from Ford Motor Company, Mary T. Barra from GM, and Jensen Huang from NVIDIA. Elon Musk highlighted the chip shortage's impact on Tesla, causing delays in new model releases. Tesla removed electronic control units from some vehicles to meet sales goals, affecting shipments to multiple countries. It remains uncertain if Tesla will make similar changes to cars produced or shipped to the US. This omission suggests that Tesla had to make undisclosed modifications to keep production and sales going amidst the chip shortage. The chip shortage affects various industries and prevents Tesla from enabling full self-driving capabilities through a simple software update. Elon Musk expressed frustration with the supply chain challenges and the uncertainty of how long they will persist. Consequently, Tesla had to limit vehicle production, remove certain control chips, and temporarily halt production. Control chips are crucial for the functioning of electric vehicles or EVs. This highlights the urgency of passing the CHIP Act for Tesla and all car manufacturers. The chip shortage is expected to impact sales, particularly for GM. In addition, automakers including GM, Ford, Stellantis, and Toyota are urging Congress to lift the cap on the federal tax credit for EVs. They argue that removing the cap will make EVs more affordable, encouraging consumer adoption as production costs rise. However, claiming the $7,500 tax credit depends on having a sufficient tax bill, and various deductions may affect eligibility. The current cap on the electric vehicle tax credit is a major drawback for electric car manufacturers like GM and Tesla. GM CEO Mary Barra has long advocated lifting the cap to create a level playing field and encourage early adoption of EV technologies. In a joint letter to congressional leaders, GM, Ford, Stellantis, and Toyota CEOs emphasized the importance of domestic policies to solidify the U.S.'s global leadership in the automotive industry. They pledged over $170 billion in investments by 2030, including $20 billion in near-term investments in the U.S. GM President Mark Roos called for new investment tax credits for EV manufacturing and supply chains and expanded consumer incentives for EV purchases, including used vehicles. As the first automaker to lose access to the full $7,500 federal tax credit, Tesla responded by reducing prices but still faces challenges. The limitation of the EV tax credit poses disadvantages for electric car manufacturers and calls for Congress to take action to benefit customers and the industry's growth. Twitter users criticized Nancy Pelosi after questioning if she shared stock trading information with her husband, which she denied. Elon Musk later accused Pelosi of lying, revealing that her husband made significant trades in NVIDIA just before a potential vote on subsidizing the semiconductor industry. Musk criticized Pelosi for using her position for personal gain. Paul Pelosi's past investments in Alphabet and Tesla stocks raised concerns about conflicts of interest. Senators Ossoff and Kelly proposed a bill prohibiting lawmakers and their families from owning individual stocks, an idea Pelosi expressed openness to. These investments raise ethical questions regarding lawmaker stock trading and potential conflicts of interest. Senator Josh Hawley, representing Missouri, has called for a hearing to address concerns of alleged insider trading by lawmakers and their families, using the Pelosi and NVIDIA deal as an example. In a letter to Senator Gary Peters, head of the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, Hawley expressed his concerns about Speaker Pelosi and her husband's investment activities. it was revealed that Paul Pelosi sold between $1 million and $5 million worth of Nvidia stock, resulting in a financial loss. Pelosi's Deputy Chief of Staff, Drew Hamill, explained that the shares were sold to counter misinformation in the press. These trades have sparked debates in Congress about the propriety of members and their spouses engaging in individual stock transactions. Pelosi initially opposed restrictions, emphasizing the importance of a free market economy. Speaker Pelosi initially opposed restrictions on lawmakers and their spouses engaging in individual stock trades, but faced criticism from Democrats and Republicans. As a result, bipartisan groups were allowed to draft bills and hold public hearings. However, none of the proposed bills have been voted on yet. While Speaker Pelosi herself does not trade stocks, her husband is an active investor with significant trades worth millions of dollars. A previous analysis ranked her as the 14th wealthiest member of Congress, with a net worth estimated at least $46,123,051. The actions of Nancy Pelosi and her husband have generated discussions and varied opinions. Feel free to share your thoughts below, and that's it for today. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button to get all the latest updates.